I've been putting this video off for I don't know how freaking long, bro, and I'm kind of sick even at the time of making it, but screw it, bro. We're finally getting along to it. God damn, Nintendo. A week that should have been for, like, you know, celebration, like all uproar for your staff, finally revealing the long-awaited and rumored Nintendo Switch 2 just to fuck it all up. At the time of me thinking on plotting this video, it was, like, I'd say at the end of the week of the Nintendo Direct, which showcased, you know, a bunch of the new Nintendo Switch 2 and a lot of great features that came with it, I would say. Showed off lots of appealing things to like about the new handheld, and that it was releasing in the summer, which a lot of people, you know, were very surprised by. Some weren't, because, you know, a lot of leaks have been coming out, but it is what it is. If anything, from what I gather from watching the Direct myself, it sounds more like a portable Xbox One, PS4 era handheld. Even with an exclusive Elden Ring edition and some other game people keep comparing to Bloodborne, the showcase isn't what caused the bitter stir amongst the population. The showcase was the red carpet, the shiny rainbow of what's to come. The problem came when people visited the website they kept referencing here and there in the presentation for the Switch 2 after the broadcast concluded. Oh boy. They found so much more than what they bargained for, that's for sure. The craziest thing is, I feel like Nintendo knew this was coming. They made sure they didn't mention anything during the showcase about the pricing of the unit or its game titles at the time. So people had to find out for themselves. We're seeing games range from $60 to $80. Yes, you heard that right. Apparently, there was a rumor of $90 for physical copies and $80 for digital copies, but that may not be true. Apparently, it came from one person and spread like wildfire amongst the masses. So not exactly sure too much about the $90 thing. Now, I'm not sure how the implementations of these price changes are going to be, whether more games will be $80 or not, but this is still insane to see, to say the least. We are all expecting GTA 6 to come out the gate and flip up the entire industry by possibly pricing the title around $70 to $100, I would say. And to be fair, a lot of people in the internet feel like they would be the biggest drop in gaming history, so they are willing to fork over that amount for one game with all its hype. But Nintendo? Come on. I know they are a big company making a lot of money, and I myself am not really the biggest Nintendo fan, but for what they provide, just doesn't feel like it's worth this big ask, in my honest opinion. And the reason I feel compelled to even make this video is just to air out the possibilities here. See, we all talked about GTA 6 probably being higher in price, and a bunch of studios are waiting, hoping they see this so they themselves can jump on it also. A bunch of these publishers in the industry, like Ubisoft, EA, 2K, and such, all probably feel like games are too cheap anyways. And some higher-ups in the industry have even said this, despite the fact most AAA games in the market nowadays are $70 unpolished, unfinished, bug-filled pieces of shit, flops that still require patches and bugs fixes months after launch. They serve us steaming shit on a plate with some corn and expect us to be grateful. Some of these paid games even have free-to-play inspired microtransactions and even battle passes, and that in itself is just hilarious. You got a game with a $70 pricing, 80 or whatever, and you still have to worry about greedy ass free-to-play microtransactions in it. I trust you'll find bugs all over the game elsewhere, but I bet that store is 100% polished, ready to take your hard-earned money. No error codes to prevent that whatsoever. But back to the publishers. Why they're all waiting on GTA 6 is because each of them don't want to be the first one to start charging higher per prices for the games. They know the gamers will react bad to another price jump after the $70 price jump wasn't too long ago. None of them want to be the bold first one to experience that backlash out of fear how it will affect their loyal customers. But GTA? Rockstar Games' billion-dollar making franchise? People will excuse that because of all the hype. But the thing I imagine these publishers will miss is that Rockstar are perfectionists. and have built that respected reputation off of high quality titles when it comes to their games that they themselves cook in-house. So no, I'm not talking about their flopped cash grab GTA trilogy. They didn't develop it. It was licensed and developed to Grove Street Studios, I believe it was, with a tight, unreasonable schedule. Back to Rockstar, their previous game to GTA 6 was Red Dead Redemption 2, and it was a masterpiece, just as GTA 5 was. People have already put it in their mind that Rockstar will not fail with this title, as they know how much expectation and money is riding on its success. This is why even Take-Two isn't rushing them to complete it. People are willing to drop $90 to $100 for early access on base game GTA 6 because they feel like it will not fail their hype and expectations, but only time will tell if Rockstar once again shakes up the industry. However, can the same be said for Ubisoft, EA, 2K, Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, etc.? Would people be as confident in these companies to provide a game worthy of an $80 price tag with the same polish as a Rockstar game? I honestly don't think so. And I wouldn't buy the shit if they tried. Games are already expensive as hell anyway. Many of them overpriced for being unfinished products and bare minimum efforts shown in certain areas. Tackle that with the increased prices on certain economies nowadays due to tariffs and inflation, gamers are going to find themselves really hesitant to spend their dollars on these titles, especially if they aren't worth what the publishers are asking for. To make a long story short, Nintendo botched their reveal that week, with people now talking more about the Switch's price than its highlighted features. Their physical releases are even more controversial, I guess. Yeah, some of these cards don't even have the game data on them, just a key for you to download the game from the store, meaning you will need an online connection to install the game and boot it for the first time. Then you will also need to still have the card inside the unit to play the game, as if it still is a physical copy because the card has the key to access it. Apparently this is something that was also on the first Switch for bigger games, I guess, but it's such an inconvenient mention for the console that already has some controversial dealings with its pricing. It just doesn't help to have some people thinking they won't even have physical copies of the game if they went out of their way to purchase it, as a means to avoid online server downloads in the first place. Gaming just sucks nowadays. Not a lot of games really attract my attention anymore. The latest console generation has been very lackluster releases, with the only things motivating me to get the PS5 is GTA 6 and UFC 5. Everything else, I gladly use my PC for. We're in for some hard times to come, but hopefully the Switch's sales don't prevail too much, because then that lets these other companies know that this is okay, that consumers are fine with being overcharged for games that may not be worth all that much. Sure, they'll make a lot of noise on X/Twitter, but in the end, they'll still buy it. And that's a world I don't want to see, because there are whales out there that will continue to purchase things no matter how greedy the practices are. Because thing is, at the end of the day, that's what the companies are looking at. They're not too much looking at everybody's opinions online on social media. They're paying attention to the money they're receiving, how often, people are playing the games, what they're doing. Like, they may be saying one thing, but they're still going out of their way to do another. With that, man, I think I'll end this video off here and stop talking, because as you can tell, my voice is terrible. I might not even upload this, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.